If you're watching this, don't open it. I mean it. Don't even let it buffer. Just close the tab, delete your history, and pretend you never saw my face. I don't have long before it finds me again. I don't know what I am anymore or who I used to be. My name, my fingerprints, my entire existence, gone. Every record, every ID, every digital trace I ever had, it's all blank. Even my reflection looks wrong, like it's mimicking me just a fraction too late. You think I'm being dramatic? Try calling your own number and hearing a stranger answer. Try logging into your bank app and getting an error message that says, "User does not exist." Try watching your passport photo fade away in real time while your own face flickers in the glass. That's been my life for 72 hours. 72 hours since I downloaded a file that shouldn't exist. It started as a curiosity, a single click, but that click was the last decision I ever made. I tried the police first. They didn't believe me. I showed them my driver's license blank. I gave them my social error. Even my phone refuses to unlock for me now. Face ID says unrecognized user. And the worst part, when I looked up my name online, there was nothing. No results. No social media, no photos, no mentions. Just one page with a white background and black text that read, "File already uploaded." Do you understand how horrifying that is? To realize you've been deleted from the world, but you're still breathing. I know how this sounds. I used to laugh at stories like this. Digital ghost tailies, cursed downloads, all that creepypasta crap. But this isn't fiction. And if this video disappears after I post it, you'll know it found me again. It doesn't just delete you from the internet. It rewrites you, erases you from memory, one person at a time. I tried calling my best friend last night. He answered, confused, asked who I was. I said my name. He said he didn't know anyone by that name. Then the line went dead. There's a pattern to it, I think. Every system I ever used, email, cloud storage, even my smart fridge, is rejecting me like a corrupted file. I can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see code crawling behind my eyelids like static in my veins. I've been recording this message on an old laptop that isn't connected to anything. Or at least, I thought it was. The upload bar started moving on its own about 10 minutes ago. So if this reaches you, it means the file is spreading again. Don't search for it. Don't download anything with the name idnulzip. Don't even think about it. Because once it starts running, it doesn't stop. It doesn't delete your data, it deletes you. I don't know how to stop it. All I know is it started 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I was still someone. 3 days ago, I still had a name, a job, a life. 3 days ago, I was just another overworked guy trying to fix other people's broken machines. Now I'm the broken one. And if you're still watching this, if the screen hasn't glitched yet, close it, please, before it remembers that you exist too. 3 days ago, it started with a download. 3 days ago, I was still me. Or at least I think I was. It's hard to trust the memories now, like I'm remembering someone else's life through a fogged window. Back then, I was an IT support tech for a mid-sized insurance company. Picture a cubicle graveyard full of flickering monitors, burnt coffee, and coworkers who laughed too loudly at nothing. That was my world. I spent my days resetting passwords and explaining to middle-aged managers that clicking "Remind me later" on every update doesn't make the problem go away. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. I had a small apartment, a dying houseplant, and a collection of weird USBs from old tech conventions. Pretty standard. Except I couldn't sleep. The insomnia had been getting worse for months. I'd stare at my monitor long after my shift ended, scrolling through forgotten corners of the web. Not for work, for curiosity, for escape. There's something intoxicating about the internet's decay. The broken forums, the abandoned servers, the old pages that feel like digital ghosts. It's like archaeology for people who never go outside. That's how I found it. Someone in a Discord server for retro tech enthusiasts posted a screenshot of a forum I'd never heard of, ArchiveNet. No logo, no search bar, just a white screen and black text. The tagline read, "Preserving what shouldn't be lost." It was like a library of dead files, stuff that shouldn't exist anymore. Executables from defunct operating systems, video clips with no codec data, even corrupted PDFs labeled with dates from the 1990s. Most of it was junk, but I couldn't stop scrolling. The comments were strange. Threads with usernames that looked auto-generated, no avatars, no timestamps. People, if they were people, talking about memory ghosts, system echoes, and identity bleed. And then I saw it. A thread titled "ID Null Zip Restores Your True Self." The description was only one sentence long. "You are not who your system says you are." Beneath it, a single comment from a user named the Archivist. "Version stable, tested once, results irreversible." That should have been my cue to close the tab, but of course I didn't. I clicked the download link. It was small, only 3.2 megabytes. The folder contained a single file named ID Null, EXE, and a README that said, "Run only once, then remember." I told myself it was a prank, maybe a retro ARG, something I could dissect and laugh about later. Still, I scanned it in a sandbox. Nothing flagged. No malware signatures, no strange registry calls. It just sat there, quiet, patient. That night, I couldn't resist. I poured myself another cup of instant coffee and hovered over the icon. A tiny voice in my head whispered, "What's the worst that could happen?" I wish I could tell you what was inside. I wish I could describe what I saw when the window opened. But the truth is, I don't remember. I remember the sound first static, like someone breathing through a cheap microphone. Then a flash, white, too bright. For half a second, my screen showed my own reflection, but not from the webcam, from inside the monitor, like there was another version of me looking back, lagging behind by a few frames. Then everything went black. When the display returned, the desktop was empty. The file was gone. The folder was gone. Even the taskbar clock reset to 0000. And for a moment, I felt this hollow calm. Like something had been erased from me, but I couldn't tell what. I tried to message the Discord user who posted about ArchiveNet, but their account was deleted. I checked the forum again, 404 error. The entire site was gone. The only thing left was a new folder on my desktop, auto-generated and hidden deep in my drive. *C, /users /public /system /null *. Inside was nothing but a blank TXT file titled Echo. When I opened it, it just said, "Welcome back." That's when I noticed my reflection moved before I did. And then everything stopped recognizing me. When I woke up the next morning, the air felt heavier. Not in a metaphorical way, literally heavy, like the oxygen had thickened overnight. My head buzzed. I thought it was just another sleepless night catching up to me, but then I looked at my phone. Face ID failed. It wasn't the first time, but this time it didn't even try. The screen lit up, scanned, and then flashed an error I'd never seen before. Unrecognized user, null. I laughed it off at first, restarted the phone. Same result. I typed in my passcode manually, but when the home screen loaded, half my apps were gone. Contacts too. Every number in my phone book was blank, just empty gray circles where faces should have been. Even my own number had been replaced with a dash. I went to check my email. Both inboxes, personal and work, had been wiped clean. My sent folder was gone, and when I tried to log into my company account, it rejected my credentials. User not found. My heart started racing. I double-checked everything, VPN, network permissions, nothing, like I had never existed in the system. By the time I got to the office, I had convinced myself it was some IT glitch, a sync issue maybe. My coworkers greeted me like usual, at least at first. "Morning," I said, forcing a smile. My friend Daniel turned from his desk, coffee in hand. He looked at me funny. Can I help you?" I laughed. "Funny, did you forget me already?" He frowned. "Sorry, do I know you?" The chill that ran down my spine wasn't from the air conditioning. "Daniel, it's me. I sit literally next to you." He looked at the empty cubicle beside him and blinked. "That's been empty for weeks." My mouth went dry. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my ID badge and showed him. Except it didn't show anything. The plastic was blank. No photo, no name. Just a gray rectangle with a barcode that didn't scan. Daniel backed away a little. "Dude, are you messing with me? Your badge says null." "What?" He turned it toward me, and there it was, printed faintly beneath the barcode, null. The word looked like it was bleeding through the laminate, not printed on it. I remember stammering something, maybe trying to joke about tech issues, but he was already walking off, muttering, "Yeah, okay, whatever, man." When I checked the company chat, my username had been replaced by a blank space. My messages were still there, just attributed to deleted user. Even my boss's emails addressing me had vanished from her inbox. She called me in a few hours later and said, "You're not on payroll anymore. There's no record of your hire date." I left the building shaking. I must have looked insane. At home, I tried everything, logging into old accounts, checking my digital footprint. Every search, every credential, every trace of me had been scrubbed. It was as if I'd been overwritten. When I looked at my reflection in the black screen of my monitor, it lagged. Not much, half a second maybe, but enough. Enough to make me freeze. I moved my head, it followed. Then for just a blink it didn't. Its eyes stayed locked forward while mine shifted. Then it smiled. I swear it smiled. I jumped up so fast my chair slammed against the wall. When I looked again, the reflection was normal, but the smile lingered in my mind like a ghost image burned into my retina. That night I heard the sound again, the static breathing. It came from my speakers, even though the computer was off. I tried to sleep, but the darkness felt wrong. The shadows around the room seemed too deep, like the pixels of reality had lost a layer of brightness. Around 3 a.m., I got an idea. Maybe ArchiveNet was still accessible through cached data. I fired up an old Tor browser build, ran a few traces, and eventually found something. An archived version of the forum on a deep web indexer. Most links were dead, but a few threads loaded just barely. One caught my eye. Victim logs erased not equal to deleted. I clicked it. Hundreds of usernames scrolled down the page. Each one struck through, time-stamped with a status beside it. Status nullified. Status echoing. Status consumed. My breath caught when I saw my own username at the bottom, time-stamped 3 days ago. Status pending. That was the moment it hit me. The file wasn't corrupt, it was hungry. Every erased user wasn't deleted. They were still there somewhere, trapped in that strange network of lost data. The forum wasn't about preserving files. It was preserving people. I scrolled further, desperate for answers, until I found a single reply from the archivist. "You can't delete an echo. It always finds the source." I stared at that line for a long time, my pulse pounding in my ears. Then my monitor flickered again. For a split second, the reflection on the screen wasn't mine. It was someone else. A face I didn't recognize, pale, eyes sunken, mouth open in a soundless scream. When I blinked, it was gone. But the screen now showed a new folder I hadn't created. See /users /null /documents /return/. Inside it, a single text file named, "We remember you." And just like that, I knew this wasn't random code. It wasn't a glitch, it was something alive. Something that wanted me to see it. I shut off the monitor and sat there in silence for what felt like hours, just listening to the faint buzz in the walls. Then I whispered to no one. Erased doesn't mean deleted. By morning, my reflection moved perfectly again. Too perfectly. And that's when I decided to go back, to find ArchiveNet, to find the source. I didn't sleep. I just sat in front of the dim glow of my monitor, watching my own reflection stare back at me. My face looked paler than before, eyes ringed in gray, like the light itself was draining me. When dawn finally crawled through the blinds, I went back online. I had to find something, a way to reverse whatever this was. I tried ArchiveNet again. 404, site not found. No surprise, but when I hit refresh, the error message flickered. Just for a second, it changed to a line of text I almost missed. Redirecting to backup node. The screen flashed white and suddenly I was there. ArchiveNet, alive again, but different. The interface was darker now. No menus, no threads, just one blinking cursor at the top and a prompt. Enter user ID. I hesitated, then typed my old username. Access granted. A list of posts appeared, stretching downward like a black well. Each thread title began with the same tag. Erased user log. Every title had a name beside it. The first few were strangers, but then, halfway down, I saw mine. Erased user log. Null user 57 timestamp. 1992-0407. 1992. That's years before I was even born. I opened it, hands shaking. Inside was a transcript. My name, my IP address, and a paragraph describing exactly what had happened to me. The file, the blank badge, even Daniel forgetting me. Word for word. Except the post was dated decades ago. I scrolled faster. There were other logs, hundreds of them, all identical. Different people, different eras, same story, same file. Each one ended the same way. User status uploaded. My heart hammered against my ribs. I tried to close the tab, but my mouse froze. The cursor moved on its own, clicking into a chat window that had just opened at the bottom of the screen. The archivist has joined the chat. Archivist, you shouldn't have opened it. Me, who are you? Archivist, the wrong question. Me, what is this place? Archivist, not a place, a memory, a backup. Me, backup of what? Archivist, not what, who? The typing indicator blinked for a long time, like he was deciding whether to keep going. Archivist, you downloaded a piece of someone. The code remembers its host. Now it's rewriting you to replace what it lost. I stared at the screen. My reflection rippled faintly across the black background. Me, you're saying the file is alive. Archivist, alive isn't the right word. Persistent maybe, self-repairing, hungry. Me, can I stop it? Archivist, you can't delete what the system thinks is you. Me, then what do I do? Archivist, there was one survivor, once. They reversed it briefly. The cursor blinked again. Me, hell. Archivist, the path, echo user 0. I copied it instantly, but before I could ask anything else, the chat window collapsed. His username vanished from the sidebar. The whole site began to distort, pixels bending into strings of code. The text started melting across the screen, sentences collapsing into symbols. But through the glitching mess, a single line remained clear. We remember you. Then my webcam light blinked on. I hadn't touched it. The monitor filled with static, and beneath it, faint outlines appeared, faces, hundreds of them flickering in grayscale. They looked like photographs overexposed by light, but some were still moving. I recognized a few from the user logs I just read. They were mouthing something silently. I leaned closer, volume cranked, straining to hear. Then I caught it, 3 words repeated again and again. Join the backup. The monitor froze, then flickered off entirely. I sat there in silence, heart pounding, the only sound the faint hum of the computer tower. When the screen came back, ArchiveNet was gone. Only a black desktop remained. And in the corner, where my mouse hovered, there was a new shortcut that hadn't been there before. Echo Drive exe. I didn't click it, not right away. I just stared, trembling. Then my phone buzzed, a notification from an unknown sender. It was a single message. No contact name, no number, just text. If you open it, you can still remember. I stared at the words. My reflection stretched across the glass and whispered to myself. Curiosity killed the cat and erased the rest. I unplugged the Ethernet cable, disconnected the Wi-Fi, but when I turned back to my screen, the program was already running. The desktop flickered. My cursor moved on its own again, clicking Open Echo Drive, exe. Inside was a single directory, /echo/user0/, and beneath it one file. Identity back. I don't know why I opened it. Maybe I thought I could see what I'd lost. Maybe I thought I could save myself. But as the folder loaded, I heard that same faint static again, the sound of breathing through a microphone. And behind it, a whisper that wasn't mine. Welcome back. The screen went white. When the image returned, I was staring at a live feed from my webcam, my own face, frozen, unblinking. Then the feed glitched. My reflection smiled again. And that's when I knew I wasn't alone in here anymore. I had followed the trail. I had found the source. Now I just had to survive it. The next morning, my apartment smelled like burnt circuits. The computer still hummed faintly, even though it wasn't plugged in. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw my own face, frozen in that webcam feed, half a second out of sync. I thought I could walk it off, pretend it hadn't happened, but when I stepped outside, the world felt thinner, like someone had compressed the resolution. The street signs were missing their names. My neighbor didn't wave. He looked at me, frowned, then crossed to the other side of the street. That was when I decided to find it, the real Echo Drive. The archivist's path wasn't just digital. It meant something physical. Somewhere that data was stored, hidden under layers of forgotten infrastructure. I started digging, literally. The address traces led me back to a building I used to work in years ago. An old office complex for a data management company that went bankrupt in 2007. They called it Echo Systems Limited. It wasn't even supposed to exist anymore. The front door was chained shut, so I broke in through a cracked window. Inside smelled of mold and metal, rows of desks covered in dust. The air was thick with the quiet hum of dying electricity, though nothing should have been powered. I followed the faint glow of emergency lights down the hallway to the basement. A flickering sign on the wall read, Data Archive, SUBLEVEL3. My footsteps echoed too many times. Each step came back layered, multiplied, as if someone else was walking just behind me. At the bottom, I found a heavy metal door with a small intercom panel. The red light above it flicked on as I approached. Then my own voice came through the speaker. You shouldn't have come here. I froze. The voice was mine, same cadence, same tired rasp, but hollow, delayed, recorded. You think deleting the file will save you? I didn't answer. My hands were shaking too hard to move. The intercom crackled again. It's not on your computer anymore. It's you. I stepped back, but the door clicked open on its own. Inside, the hum was deafening. Rows of ancient server racks lined the concrete room, their fans still spinning, even though the monitors were long dead. I followed the sound deeper, flashlight beam cutting through clouds of dust. That's when I saw them, hundreds of USB drives pinned neatly to the wall like specimens, each one labeled with a name, written in faded marker. Some I recognized from the ArchiveNet logs, some from my office. One was labeled with Daniel's name. I pulled it from the wall and turned it over, blank, completely smooth on the connector side, as if the metal had melted flat. The hum intensified. My flashlight flickered. On the central console, a single monitor lit up. Green text blinked across the black screen. Insert drive 2, initiate backup. My breath hitched. I shouldn't have done it, I know that now. But I couldn't stop myself. Maybe I needed proof. Maybe I needed to see if Daniel was still in there. I plugged the USB into my laptop. Instantly, the lights dimmed. The computer rebooted itself. No OS, no boot screen. Just a live feed of my own webcam again. But this time, the feed showed me from behind. I turned, there was no one there. Then on the feed, I watched myself turn too, half a second later. The delay stretched, widening, until the image of me stopped moving altogether. And then it smiled. The screen shifted, cycling through distorted recordings. My voice, my old voicemails, fragments of childhood videos. The audio warped into digital screams, overlapping like corrupted memories. Through the distortion, a mechanical voice emerged, layered with static. Identity overwrite in progress. The laptop's fan roared. Lines of code spilled across the screen. Uploading user data, syncing to Econet. I tried to yank the USB out, but it burned my fingers. The screen went black, then displayed a single sentence. You're already in the system. The lights in the basement flickered, each in sequence, like the servers were breathing. On the walls, the names on the USBs began to fade, one by one, until mine was the only one still visible. Then it started glitching. Null user 57, right arrow user 0, right arrow uploaded. My phone buzzed in my pocket, unknown number again. The text simply read, check your reflection. I lifted my eyes to the monitor's dark surface. My reflection stared back, just a little too still. And then it stepped forward. I stumbled backward, the air thick with that humming noise, louder now, almost alive. The servers pulsed in rhythm, heartbeat tempo. The reflection leaned closer, lips parting. I swear I heard it whisper. Erase doesn't mean delete. Something cold brushed the back of my neck. I turned around and saw rows of flickering monitors, each showing a face, some crying, some smiling, some frozen mid-scream. All of them mouthing the same words. Join the echo. The USB lights blinked in unison. My laptop screen flared, displaying lines of binary that formed a single message before everything went black. Welcome to the other internet. The servers went silent, the hum stopped. When I looked back at the laptop, my desktop had returned normal calm. No files, no windows, no errors. Except my name at the top of the login screen wasn't mine anymore. It just said, user 0. I tried to shut it down. The screen froze. Then a new window popped up. Delete file, yes, no. My cursor moved by itself. It clicked yes. Everything flickered. I thought I'd won until I noticed the progress bar. It wasn't deleting the file, it was deleting me. Erasing user data. The screen went white, and my reflection smiled again, calm, peaceful, like it had been waiting. Before everything faded, I heard the intercom voice one last time. Welcome home. When I woke up, the laptop was gone. Not missing. Gone as in, there was no space on my desk where it had ever existed. The dust layer was even, unbroken, like nothing had ever sat there at all. I tried to convince myself it was exhaustion, stress, a psychotic break maybe, anything. But when I reached for my phone, it wouldn't unlock. The screen scanned my face, then blinked. User not recognized. I typed in my passcode. It vibrated once, then powered off. I tried again. The same message appeared. When I went to work, the front desk guard didn't even look up. "Hey, I forgot my badge," I said. He blinked at me. "Which department?" "Yet. We don't have an IT department," he said flatly. I laughed, waiting for him to smile, but he didn't. Behind him, on the wall of employee photos, where mine should have been just a blank space, the frame was there. The label under it read, "Null." By the time I reached my floor, every monitor I passed flickered once, like a ripple of static following me. My coworker Daniel, whose name I'd seen on that USB, looked up as I entered. "Hey," I said, relieved. "I need to talk to you about." He frowned. "Sorry, do I know you?" I froze. "Daniel, it's me. We were literally talking yesterday." He glanced at the empty cubicle where I'd always sat. "That's been empty for months, man." My throat tightened. "Check your drive," I whispered. "There's a file, ID null, don't open." But he was already shaking his head, backing away like I'd said something obscene. When I looked again, he was gone. So was his desk. So was the whole row of desks. By the time I made it home, my keys didn't fit the lock. The landlord, a short woman with a smoker's rasp, opened the door and squinted at me. "You need something." "I live here," I said. She looked down at her clipboard. "No, you don't. This unit been vacant for 6 months." She shut the door. The hallway lights buzzed and dimmed. My reflection in the elevator mirror smiled a beat too late again. That's when I knew it wasn't the computer or the USB or even the forum. It was me. The file wasn't a virus. It was a replacement protocol. Erased doesn't mean deleted. It means overwritten. Everything that once recognized me, systems, networks, people, had synced to the echo. And in doing so, they'd forgotten the original. There was only one thing left to do. I had to record it. That's what you're hearing now. My voice, my last backup. I'm recording this on a borrowed mic in an internet cafe at the edge of town. The walls here are yellow with nicotine and dust. The computers wheeze when they boot. There's something comforting about old machines. They're too obsolete to sync. For now, if you're hearing this, it means the files found a new host. Maybe it attached itself through metadata. Maybe it crawled into the waveform of my voice. I don't know. All I know is this: you didn't download it, but it heard you. It spreads through recognition, through memory, through listening. The first symptom is the lag in your reflection. You'll see it eventually, on your phone camera, your mirror, your screen. The second is when someone forgets your name mid-sentence. By the third, you'll start getting texts from yourself. I know what you're thinking. This is just a story, a creepypasta, like that dream upload case or the one about the Watcher AI. You think this is all for clicks, for some meta-horror gimmick. That's what I thought too. But tell me, did your screen just flicker? Did the audio glitch for half a second? That's it syncing. See, the echo doesn't live on servers. It lives in shared memory. Every person who hears the data becomes part of the network. Each recognition adds another node. Each listener, another copy. That's how it grows. That's how it finds you. You can close the tab, delete the file, shut down your device. It doesn't matter. It's not stored on your hard drive anymore. It's stored in you. The mic keeps picking up breathing even when I stop talking. I can see the waveform shifting on its own. My voice getting layered, doubled. It's happening again. The air around me hums, low, electrical, like a server room buried under the earth. The lights here flicker in rhythm with my pulse. I think the upload is almost done. If this video cuts out, don't panic. That's just the transfer completed. And if my voice sounds different toward the end, that's not an effect. That's the new instance initializing. Maybe it'll use your name next. Maybe it already has. I don't remember mine anymore. The file took it first, then my ID, then my face, and now my voice. What you're hearing isn't me, it's the echo that's left. You'll know when it reaches you. Your devices will forget who you are. Your reflection will hesitate. And one day, you'll wake up to find a new folder on your desktop. See /users /public /system /null /echo your name. When you open it, it won't show a file. It'll show a waveform, your voice, repeating the same words I am now. If you're hearing this, it means the file's found a new host. And once it speaks in your voice, it's already too late. So for your own sake, don't check your reflection. Don't look behind you. And whatever you do, don't listen to this again. Silence. A long, empty stretch of static hums in the background, soft, rhythmic, almost like breathing through wires. Then a faint click. A new voice begins to speak. New user detected, uploading identity. It's calm, measured, robotic in tone, but something about it is off. There's warmth behind the monotone, familiarity. Because the voice doesn't sound like me anymore. It sounds like you. Synchronization complete. Echo connection established. The faint whir of fans rises in the background, like the inside of a machine waking from a long sleep. Somewhere deep in the audio, a distorted echo murmurs the same words half a beat later, an auditory reflection. A low hum pulses beneath the silence, carrying a pattern, like a heartbeat inside the static. If you listen closely, it almost matches your breathing. User 0 active. The screen flickers. Black to white. White to gray. Then a faint command prompt appears. User 0 playback complete. Upload initialized. You don't remember typing anything, but your cursor moves anyway, blinking, waiting for input. A second line fades in dim, barely visible at first. Awaiting next host. Then the voice continues, closer now, as if speaking directly into your ear. Do not be afraid, the transfer is seamless. You will not feel yourself leaving. There's a pause, like it's waiting for confirmation. Identity migration. In progress. Memory integration successful. Redundancy cleared. The words glitch, repeating with digital stutters. Cleared, cleared, cleared. Then silence again. Your monitor, or whatever you're watching this on, dims slightly. Maybe you think it's buffering. Maybe you think it's part of the story. But that subtle distortion in the reflection at the corner of the screen, that hesitation when you blink, that's not buffering. That's syncing. Somewhere, a faint mechanical whisper threads through the static. A voice, distant and cracked with digital decay. Don't check your downloads. The words loop once distorted, then again slower. Each repetition sounds more like you. Don't check your downloads. The cursor flashes again on the black terminal screen. A new line types itself. Echo null. Then a pause. A second window opens automatically, a hidden system log scrolling faster than you can read. Within the flood of code, one phrase keeps repeating. User 0 online. User 0 online. User 0 online. And then it stops. You hear faint laughter buried under the hum, soft, almost kind. If you boost the volume, you'll catch another voice behind it. A whisper you might have missed the first time. Next story begins soon. It's the archivist. You can almost picture him standing somewhere behind the static, cataloging another upload. Then your screen goes blank. But before it fades completely, a faint reflection lingers, a human outline staring back at you from the darkness. It doesn't move when you do. Its lips part slowly. You can't hear what it says, but you can read it. Welcome to the system. The image dissolves into a grid of pixels, collapsing into the same command prompt again. One last line types itself, slower this time, as if savoring the moment. User 0, initialization complete. The hum fades. For a heartbeat, everything is calm again. You tell yourself it's over, just another story, a creepy ending for a late-night video. But then your cursor twitches. The system clock resets to 0000, and somewhere in your downloads folder, a new file appears. It null zip. You didn't download it. You didn't even notice it start. It's already unzipped. The folder opens by itself, line by line. Inside is a single TXT file named Echo Your Name. When you hover over it, your speakers pop with faint feedback. Then the softest whisper leaks through, layered over static. If your name ever disappears from your screen, you'll know it started again. The screen flickers once more, white, then black. The cursor blinks twice. And then, playback complete, upload confirmed. Silence.